Part 3. So, my question is, alright, I had no romantic idealism towards Fashion Bug Karen's husband, alright? I was literally pointing out, though, that ultimately he could have taken his resources that he worked for, started off anew on his own, which he didn't get the opportunity to do when he was younger because they were high school sweethearts. So ultimately, she was all he knew. But shouldn't somebody that eventually, that they're getting mistreated, question if, no, being mistreated is all that I know, wouldn't any other alternative be the better alternative? Alright? But apparently, if a guy says that to another guy, alright, then apparently he's a chauvinistic, misogynistic istophobe. Alright? But when the ladies end up going ahead and encouraging that for the ladies, it's female empowerment, fighting the patriarchy. And it's like, how about recognize the factor that each gender has their own individual battles and fights that ultimately, yeah, there are some that end up going ahead and, crossing the generational divide as well as the gender divide, but, there are also other individual fights that the other gender and the other generation will never have to understand, whether that be a blessing or a curse, because of what characteristics and traits that could end up being developed, because there are some traits, unfortunately, that do only get developed in a state of survival. But ultimately, a state of survival only does so much good if, there's never a state that is not in survival. At those times, those qualities and those traits end up going ahead and flourishing when the people that tend to panic, and worst case scenario, end up going ahead and having to fight that fight, flight, freeze, or fawn response. So, with that being said, I don't see how I was wrong for recognizing the problem of the situation and bringing it to somebody's attention. Hey, you're being abused.